Hey, everybody. I want to thank you for investing in the Shareholders podcast. Once again, I'm Monty Mont. It's a blessing to be with you guys again. I can always say that God is good, and I have a great guest for you guys. I have an amazing guest. First of all, I want to just try to read all the accolades very quickly. She is a salon owner, but I want to just tell you, not just the normal salon owner. Shout out to all those that own salons, but listen, we're talking about, so I got my notes here. Okay, best health and beauty clinic franchise in Southeast England in 2019. Best client experience award 2019. All right, best client experience award 2018. Best beauty salon 2018. Lux Salon of the Year 2017. Client experience award 2017. Over and over again, most outstanding salon of the year in 2016. You see what I'm saying? This is not just a little hole in the wall. Okay, this is a huge, huge thing here. It is called KG Salon. Her name is Katie Godfrey, and I want to welcome her to the Shareholders podcast. How are you doing today, Katie?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking time out of a very busy schedule to be on. And I was so impressed. I saw your Instagram and I said, wow, it'd be lovely to have somebody with such a great business on to talk for a little bit. So let's just get into it with and we're going to get into all the different things that you're doing and all that. But I love to ask this first question of all my guests is being in business and being an entrepreneur, where did you get this entrepreneurial spirit to jump out here and do your own business?
I think for me, I felt like I didn't really have a choice. Obviously I had a choice, but for me, I left school with nothing, no qualifications or anything like that. And I had two options: either go and work somewhere where required no qualifications, supermarket, shop, and something like that, or I do my own thing. And for me, it was no option other than to do my own thing. So, I don't know if it was just in me naturally, or if it was that instinct of, okay, do I just want a normal 9 to 5, or do I want to do something more than that? And I've always wanted more. I've never worked for anyone else. I don't know any different. It's just always been me. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love to hear kind of the origin story of that. So you never actually worked for it. It's always just been you then.
No, never. So the whole learning how to be a leader and a boss and all of that, I just had to pick up and just guess this is how it goes, and it kind of worked.
Well, hey, you it's been working for you, obviously. That's great. So then, I would like to just can you very quickly with your salon tell us all the things you guys do offer, because it's not just like hair, but what basically do you all provide for your customers?
So my salon's been going nearly 12 years now, and we started by just offering tanning and nails, but that's expanded into obviously all types of nails, sunbeds and spray tanning, waxing, massaging, facials, brows, lashes, literally everything a girl would want, really.
Yeah. So you started 12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
Okay.
We started.
Now, okay, so guys, I want to give you a little reference real quick. I read a bunch of accolades and things from the last about 3 or 4 years. And I don't know if you've won more than that, but that's amazing because you started 12 years ago. And it's kind of seeming like now you're really getting recognized, your salon, in the last couple of years. But I'm sure starting out, it wasn't maybe like that, but it was a lot of grinding in terms of raising it up to that level. Like you said, you didn't offer as much. So how was that process of really like becoming a premier salon for you guys?
It really was organic for us. I mean, the only reason we offered more treatments is because people were asking for it. And then obviously we become busier over time. And that's when I started concentrating on a certain treatment. So for me, that was eyelashes. So my thing was lashes, and the rest of my team used to do all the other treatments. And then I won awards in eyelashes back in 2014. And that's when the salon become really recognized then, because obviously award-winning salon. Back then, you didn't really win awards. It wasn't really a big thing for the industry. And then it just grew from there. But then I had my little girl, which then at that point, I had to step back from the salon and start working on the business.
Mhm.
Whereas before I had her, obviously I was doing treatment all day, every day on all of my clients and was just busy working in the salon. But then falling pregnant and having her, obviously I wanted to have time with her at home and that type of thing. I had to start working on the company, which built the business even more. A lot of salon owners think they have to be in the salon, they have to be there all the time, they have to do treatments, but that actually isn't true. It's best if we work on the company rather than in it, and it builds it even more. So I've been able to get the brand out there and the brand awareness and actually build other companies from owning the salon in the first place, just from stepping out.
See, okay, I love that you just said that. I wanna ask you then, in terms of being the leader, and like you say, the owner doesn't have to be in the salon all the time. How important was it for you to find good people that you could delegate to, so that I can not be in a salon and I can relax and know everything's still working well, but let me do some other things, to help build the brand. How important was that for you to get good people around you that you could trust to handle things the way you wanted them to be handled?
I mean, it all comes down to your team. It all comes down to recruitment, and it's hard recruiting when you haven't done it before. You have to look for a certain type of person. You could have the most amazing therapist, but they might not be the type of person that's going to gel with your team. And if you have one bad egg in that team, it wrecks the rest of the team. So recruitment is key, and just the training. Like, even though I'm not in there, I'm still there. They know they can contact me anytime. We're always having team meetings. I always have one-to-ones with them, and I'm constantly training them to be the best standard I can physically get them at. And that does take a lot of time. But again, the more that you're not in there, the more you can plan this. So I can be their leader for them. Whereas otherwise I'm being too busy elsewhere.
Man, that's well said. That's well said. So now, in addition to a lot of the physical things that you guys bring for clients, you also offer training and certification for people who want to be in the industry. Now, why do that? Why, you could just let somebody else go to this school or do that, but to actually offer it yourself, what made you want to do that?
I'm not sure what it's like in the USA, but for here, we have to go to college and we have to study for X amount of years to learn beauty therapy. And the colleges, even though they're great, they're very old in their style. So it's very basic beauty. Whereas now in the industry across the world, everyone wants everything instant. They want lashes, they want extensions on their nails, they want everything that's more advanced treatments. And the colleges can't offer that. So we wanted to bring out fast track courses, which people would be able to enroll on, the advanced treatments to be able to learn within a day or two. And it started because people, again, after winning the eyelash award, people were coming to me saying, oh, well, can you teach me in this? Can you teach me in that? And I thought, oh, hold on here. I've got another business here. So I launched teaching, and we now have academies across the whole of the UK. We were extremely busy, and we ended up launching a product range to run alongside the academy.
Wow.
And it just worked. Like, everything has been organic. I never sat down and thought, okay, one day I'm going to have a salon, then I'm going to have a training academy, then I'm going to have a product range. It didn't really work like that. It just all rolled into one and just happened. And I'm so blessed for that.
Man, that's amazing. That is great. So I would like to ask you then a candid question, because I know some people watch this and be like, wow, so she did it and just everything worked out great and it's all perfect, but I'm sure it was not. Can you maybe share how you've learned maybe from some of the mistakes that you've made, just kind of growing, just where, because I think sometimes people in business, if something goes wrong, they get discouraged and they say, man, this didn't go how I thought it was going to go, or this messed up, and they kind of stop their dream, or they stop. But can you maybe speak to the fact that, how you dealt with adversity in your professional career?
I mean, business is hard. Business is the hardest job, thing, whatever you'll ever do. And it's made for certain type of people. I mean, majority of the world will work for someone. They won't run their own company. And you will knockbacks every single day, and we have to graft and show up every single day. And there are days where you just wake up and think, you know what, I can't bother to face the world and be Miss Positive today. But you have to, because it's your company, and if you're not doing it, then the income isn't coming in. Like, yeah. there isn't any time to just, you know, just put a full stop in it. And I think business is so hard. That is why most businesses fail, unfortunately, because people haven't got that fire inside them to keep going and keep pushing. And I think it doesn't matter how big you get or how successful you get, it doesn't get easier. You're still fighting the same battles every day. And I just think you will make loads of mistakes on the way, and there will be loads of difficulties that come your way, but you just got to keep pushing through and learning from every single mistake you make, and just learning from everything possible, because that will then make you better to be able to achieve more in the long run. I mean, I could have chucked in the towel so many times within the last 12 years. Like, I would say I end up saying I want to chuck in the towel at least once a year. I'm like, I've had enough. That's it. I'm going to go and work for someone else. And then you wake up the next day and you think, no, okay, headstrong, let's keep at it. So you just got to be very mentally stable and strong in your mind. Keep educated. I surround myself with the type of people that I want to be like, and I consume my head with business books and podcasts and learning, just to make sure that I'm keeping on the straight and narrow and I don't go in any other direction.
I mean, I love that. You kind of already, you know, you hit a little bit on my next question about the advice you would give somebody, but you kind of just hit that right there. And that's very good advice to take. Can I ask you then, because you guys have a lot of awards for customer service in your industry, how important is the customer experience? Because you can, like you kind of alluded to before, you can be a very good, you know, lash technician, or, you know, good at tanning or whatever, but if it doesn't equate to making the person feel comfortable, it seems like they might not come back. So how much do you stress that with your staff in terms of dealing with the customer?
It's the most important. And I think it is in whatever industry that you're in. You could have the most amazing treatment. You could have the best set of nails or the best set of lashes. But if that therapist wasn't accommodating, wasn't making you feel comfortable, didn't give you the aftercare, it doesn't matter how amazing that set was, you're not going to go back because you don't feel comfortable. A client comes in and they want the whole package. They want to feel special from the second they open the door to the second they leave. It's their time to be in their little bubble and just letting the stress go away. And the second that they get off that couch, if their phone starts going, you know, the stress of the world comes back. So you have to make sure that the customer service is always key. And I always give the example of, even in a restaurant, you could go to a restaurant, a really expensive restaurant, and you could have the absolute best food, like the best food hands down. But if the waiter doesn't come down and make sure you're okay, or they take ages for the food, so you're absolutely like hungry, and it's just, you know, the service just isn't there, then you could, yeah, I've had the best food, but I guarantee you go and moan to your friends about what the service was like. Yeah. Whereas you could go to a standard restaurant, the food could be okay, but the service could be impeccable. You're going to rave about that restaurant more than the really expensive one that serves the best food.
Yeah, that's true. That is, I've had that experience before, and that it really makes a difference when the staff is nice and they treat you well. Two more questions, and I'm going to let you go. I know you're busy. First of all, I didn't even, as you guys know, she's based in England. I should have said that at the top of the interview. You know, I'm sure you maybe picked it up from the accent by now if you've been watching or listening. I was fortunate enough to go to London about 2 years ago, and it was amazing. I know you're outside of London. You're how far away from London?
I'm only like half an hour away from London.
Yeah, just the outskirt, but I loved it so much. And I am not going to sing, but I will tell you this, Katie, I can't speak with a British accent, but I can sing with a British accent. I don't know how. I'm not going to do it for you guys. That's on a different show that I host, but
I think you should give it a
go. I do a very good Julie Andrews, so I'm going to just say it like that. So anyway, have you had in business, have you had any, I love to ask this question, any mentors or any people that have maybe helped you as you came along, or just gave you some good advice just do this or do that, or with your finances or whatever? Anybody that's kind of helped you along the way?
I will always have a mentor, always. I think it's so important. I mean, I'm a business mentor myself, just to add that in also with what I do.
Yeah.
And I just think having a mentor is key. Like when I started, I had no one other than my friends or family, and they'll be very sided off what you want to hear if you ask them any advice or help. But with a mentor, they guide you, they have no other intentions than to make your business work and for you to keep focused. So I've had many mentors over the year. I swap and change and depending what my needs are at the time. But it's key. And if you can't afford a mentor right now, say you're new in business and it's not what you can afford, then go and head on the podcasts and the audiobooks to be able to get your help in that from there. But investment is key, and that is the one thing that you should be investing in is yourself. So if you can do that, then definitely go and find a mentor that's in your area of industry, and someone that you look up to. It has to be someone that you're like, do you know what, she or he has done everything that I want to accomplish. So I need to find out how they've done that. Not someone that's kind of on your wavelength. They have to be higher than you for you to really look up to and get the most out of it from. But highly recommend.
Awesome. That's well said. And yeah, guys, check out, even if you don't have a physical person, there's so many podcasts, there's so many things out there where people are just giving you free advice, and there's so many, just on YouTube and things like that. Definitely. I love that answer. So lastly, I was going to ask, is there any books that you've read lately, or any books that you kind of read that you really would recommend for someone in business?
Yeah, let me get my list up, because I actually compiled a list today for some of my students. So, Profit First by Mike, I can't pronounce his surname, but if you just type Profit First and Mike in, it's an amazing book. And he's also got one called Clockwork, which is really good. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, which is a classic, that's really good. The E-Myth Revised by Michael Gerber, that's really good. And what's another good one? Oh, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You can't beat.
Nice. Okay, that sounds good. I like the sound of that one. I'm gonna have to check that out. But, wow, Katie, I want to thank you for the time. This has been excellent. Please, can you just let people know where they can find you, or especially the salon and stuff, if they're ever in, the neighborhood, or for my international listeners, please just give your plugs real quick.
Definitely. So you can see us on kgsalon.com or kgprofessional.com for the business mentoring and the training side of things. And then on social media, I'm always on Instagram on KG Salon or KG Professional also. But KG Salon's my kind of main one and the one that I look after. So yeah, you can just DM me on there if you need any more information.
You guys, I'm telling you, please check her out. Even if your field isn't maybe in beauty, she really has a lot of knowledge. I mean, anybody that has built a successful brand, you can learn something from. So I'm really advising you guys to check her out, especially though if you're across the pond. For my American people, go check out her salon. It is top notch. I mean, it looks amazing. You know where to find us, of course, the Shareholders podcast. And I'm really praying for great success for you. Katie, I know we're still kind of being careful with the, pandemic and things. And for all my business owner friends, I'm always hoping that things kind of slowly get back more to normal, because I know we have to be careful. But I'm very glad for you coming on, and thank you so much for the time.
No, thank you so much for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
All right.
This has been a production of the Mighty Sharp Network. Executive producer is Monty Mont. Watch the corners and always stay sharp.